The Iron Mining Association has welcomed a new face to its ranks, but she might be familiar to many of you. Kristen Vake, a former CBS 3 evening news anchor and Chisholm native, puts her homegrown knowledge to use as she steps into her new role as executive director of the organization. So here to talk about her new position is Kristen Vake. Kristen, welcome. Good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
So what is the Mining Association?
Sure. So the Iron Mining Association, we're actually celebrating 30 years this year, but it's an association that advocates and supports the iron mining industry. So it includes producers, so that would be the mining companies on the range, and then suppliers and vendors, which there are many, many, many of those thanks to the mining industry. And so really our goal is just to support that industry and keep it going strong.
Mm-hmm. So you've spent the past 6 years or so working for Channel 3.
Yes.
What made this the right time for you to have a career change?
Well, it wasn't an easy decision to make because I have a love for journalism. I think it's so incredibly important to share the stories of our area. But I felt this was a new way for me to give back and support my home area. I'm from the Iron Range, and this seemed like a good opportunity to not only give back to my community, but also to an industry that put food on the table for my family for generations. And that's a story many folks can share.
I was just going to say, I understand mining has had a major role in your family. How is that?
Major role. My dad worked at Mintac for U.S. Steel for 40 years. He's now retired, but truly the hardest working guy I know. And then his dad and my mom's dad, my brother works for a mine, and it just goes back generations. And that's not a unique story. Many people have that same story. This industry has really, for well over 100 years, supported so many families, and it's really what the Iron Range was built off of. And so I'm excited to be in this role and be able to advocate for such an important industry.
Mm-hmm. In addition to anchoring at Channel 3, you hosted the Ion Mining. How did that prepare you for this position?
Connections, as you all know, connections are huge, but also just getting an inside look into this industry. I think most people only get to see it from afar or hear about it. And as a reporter, you get kind of an inside look. And so I was able to really learn a lot about it and see how it runs and how high tech things are now and how hard people work there to keep the industry going. And so covering the mining industry certainly fueled my passion for it even more so.
You mentioned that the mining industry wants to take a kind of a new direction, local, focusing maybe on stories, some other things that maybe they haven't focused on before. How are you going to do that?
So the Iron Mining Association historically has focused more on lobbying, so mining legislation and policy, but we feel now is the time where we really need to share more about what we actually do on the Iron Range in the iron mines. What we do, how we do it, and just how incredibly important it is to not only the Iron Range, but to the state of Minnesota, to the country, to the world. I mean, the steelmaking process starts on the Iron Range, and without that being successful, the industry as a whole takes a hit. And then as I mentioned those suppliers and vendors, they're impacted as well. So we're talking thousands of jobs, impacts on communities. So it's really a vital industry that we need to keep strong.
Mm-hmm. Will the lobbying aspect go away or will it continue?
We'll continue to do it. It just won't be our sole focus. We really feel that we're kind of a misunderstood industry in a way, and that's to no one's fault, but we just want to share more, kind of open the blinds on how mining works and how we do it, and we do it safely, and I'm excited to share those stories.
Are there things you really have to study up on now?
Yes, I am learning a lot, but thankfully I have board members on the Iron Mining Association who work for a lot of the mining companies and a lot of the supplier and vendor companies, and they are experts in the field, and so I get to learn from the best of the best, and I feel very blessed.
Mm-hmm. Having somebody young like yourself in the position, do you think that will inspire other young people from the region to maybe stick around and give mining another look?
I hope so. Trust me, when I was in high school, I wanted nothing more than to leave the Iron Range. I thought I need to get out of here. But I ended up coming back not many years later. And I think there's a lot of misperceptions about job opportunities within the mining industry. I never thought I would be in this role. I truly didn't even know this type of opportunity existed, but they are out there. And the jobs in mining are good paying jobs, they're good benefits, and they're really diverse. There's a lot of different things you can do in this industry.
Have you seen it change over the years since you've been in the news business, for example, because you've been covering that industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think the industry is continuing to develop constantly. They're finding new technologies, they're finding new ways for more sustainability. And so it's a constant change. And I think that that's really important. We need to continue in that direction. And I think we're on the right path.
All right, Kristen, with that, we have to wrap it up. Thank you very much.
Thank
Kristen
you.
Vake from the Iron Mining Association. Thank you.
Thank you.